After being blackmailed by his sister, the protagonist spends all his efforts on defeating an Otome game. He hates it because in the game, women have all the power, the characters are pretentious, and the world building is very strange. He manages to complete the game and decides to get something to eat, but he falls down the stairs and is reincarnated. His name is Leon Fu Barfort, and he has lost his memories from his previous life. But after learning about this world, he regains his memories and realizes that he is in the same game he hated. 10 years have passed, and Leon has realized that the Barfort family he's a part of was not in the game he played, meaning that he's just a background character or mob. He thought of using all the knowledge he had of the game to dominate, but as his life continued, all his ambition disappeared, and he decided that he should just look for happiness as a mob. One day, a woman named Zola, whom Leon's father had married in order for the survival of their family, tells Leon that she has arranged a marriage for him. The woman he is being married to is the daughter of a court noble that Zola owes a great deal to, but the problem is that the woman is a 50-year-old fat woman who has already been married 7 times, and all of her husbands died in battle, making Leon believe that she is only marrying him because she wants his survivor pension. Leon says that he plans to go to the academy, and that is where people usually find who they want to marry, but Zola tells her that it costs a lot of money to go to the academy and she isn't going to spend any on him. She plans to send him to become a soldier if he refuses this proposal, as women in this world usually don't marry anyone over the age of 20. Leon realizes that his future will be over if he listens to her and remembers an ancient spaceship that he found while playing this game. So he decides to look for it as it will earn a lot of money, which he will use to go to the academy. He takes his father's flying ship and starts looking, but when he finds its location, a cyclone swallows and destroys the ship. He wakes up on the ground, starts looking for the ship, and finds the same routes he used to walk when he played the game. He finds a robot on the lookout and remembers that the robots are weak to electricity, so he hits it with an electric bullet and defeats it. Leon now finds dead bodies and takes the card from the body, which he uses to get inside the ship that he was looking for. As he enters the ship, he is interrupted by another robot, but when Leon hits it with his electric bullets, the robot shows no sign of damage. Leon first tries to trick the robot by showing him the card he had taken, but the robot realizes that the person on the card is different from Leon and attacks him. Leon uses an electric grenade, but the robot is still not damaged. Instead, it deploys a magic barrier to protect itself from further such attacks. Leon throws another grenade, and the robot tells him that magic grenades won't work anymore, but Leon's grenade is a regular bomb that manages to bypass the shield and reach the robot, but it still isn't damaged. The robot grabs Leon and asks him what the year is according to the new calendar, but after hearing Leon say that he doesn't know any new calendar, the robot realizes that the new humans have defeated the old humans with magic. So now his mission is to defeat the new humans, but first he will eliminate Leon. The robot squeezes Leon's body, making him bleed, but Leon throws a sword toward the robot's eyes, defeating it. Leon now scans his hand on the ship, which recognizes him as its new master, but is surprised by seeing that Leon has both the attributes of the new and old humans. Leon names the ship Luxian as it was the name it had in the game, but now he is very badly injured and passes out from his wounds. 3 months have passed, and back at his home, Zola says that Leon was an idiot because he refused the marriage proposal and ran away, and now might be dead because he hasn't contacted his family for 3 months. At that moment, Leon arrives with his ship and a great amount of treasure, which pisses off Zola. With this money, Leon now enrolls in the academy. Leon is now staying on an island that he found on his way home. He is now an independent knight and has the rank of baronet. A small round flying robot from the ship is beside Leon, who tells Leon that this island might earn him money in the future and suggests that he could also build hot springs. Leon likes this idea, and the robot reveals that it has already started the process and the hot springs will be ready in a few months. Leon is granted the rank of baron, but he isn't happy about it because it means that he has to now find a wife of a high rank, probably around the same rank that Zola has. Leon attends the academy and sees the prince and his group, who were the main romantic interests in the game, and then sees Angelica, the rival of the protagonist. After attending the opening ceremony, Leon sees a girl slapping the prince and remembers that this is the same scene that was in the game, but is surprised to see that the girl is not the protagonist because, in the game, this dialogue was done between the protagonist and the prince. Leon now holds a tea party along with his friends Daniel and Raymond and hopes that some girls will attend their party. Leon sees that the prince is standing up for the girl that slapped him named Marie against his fiancée Angelica, but this scene further confuses Leon as originally the prince was supposed to protect the protagonist in this scene. Leon, while taking a class about tea party etiquette, isn't paying attention when the teacher calls him to the front of the class to teach him a lesson. Leon gets very impressed by the teacher's tea party and decides to throw one of his own. But this time he does everything on his own, unlike the last time when he decided to let others do all the work. He had invited one girl who arrives with some other friends, but they only came to pass their time and leave after eating the snacks. In the hallway, Leon sees that a girl is being bullied and decides to offer her tea when he realizes that she is the main protagonist of the game, Olivia. After spending some time with her, he realizes she is very kind and decides to help her by taking her to his sister, who advises her to introduce herself to the most popular girl in the class, Angelica. Leon's sister also tells her to buy some expensive snacks for Angelica, but Olivia is poor, so Leon offers to pay. Olivia now goes to Angelica, who is impressed that she had the courage to introduce herself, but when Olivia asks if she can stay at the academy, Angelica tells her that she doesn't want to kick her out and that she doesn't even like to behave rudely with others. Upon Angelica's asking, Olivia tells her that Leon told her to introduce herself, which impresses Angelica, but she is worried that people might start using Leon for their good. Leon attends an exploration class with Olivia, but sees Angelica fighting with Marie. The prince comes to the aid of Marie, and instead of going with his fiancée, he takes Marie with him. The teacher tells everyone to go ahead and search for crystals while avoiding the monster, but everyone tells Leon and Olivia to go ahead because they are not rich. They encounter monsters in the dungeon, which Leon defeats easily, but when a monster attacks Olivia, he jumps in front of her and gets injured. The prince and his group arrive and defeat all the monsters, but the prince is slightly injured, so Marie uses healing magic to cater to his wounds. Now Angelica comes and pushes Marie aside to help the prince, but he tells her that he doesn't need her help and leaves holding Marie's hands, which causes the prince's friends, who are the other main romantic interests of the game, to get jealous. Prince Julius questions Angelica about the incident where a group of girls bullied Marie and burnt his things and told the prince that Angelica ordered them to do so, but she denies any involvement in this matter. The prince warns Angelica to stay away from him and Marie at the academy because their engagement is only outside of the academy. Liam goes to a library to question Olivia about what kind of girl Marie is, but she gets the wrong idea and asks Leon if he likes girls like Marie when Leon tells her that he hates Marie. They now hear some noise, and when they inspect it, they see Marie kissing one of the boys from the prince's group. After leaving the library, Marie meets with the prince and his friend Joke, who offer to buy a servant for her because she can't afford one. Marie now thinks how easy it is to live in this world and that she is going to dominate this Otome game, revealing that she is also not from this world. Leo and his friends go to a party and are determined to find a wife for themselves, but everyone rejects them. Meanwhile, Angelica again gets into an argument with the prince telling him that she saw Marie holding hands with another boy, but he doesn't seem to care. Angelica tells the prince's group of friends that Marie is involved with every one of them, but they reveal that they already know it, and each one of them expresses their love for Marie. When the prince says he loves her more than anyone and no one can replace her, Angelica throws her glove at Marie, challenging her to a duel. The prince tells her to pick up the glove and offers to be her champion, but all of his friends say that they can't let him get the spotlight and also offer to fight for her. On the other hand, no one is willing to fight for Angelica when Leon steps up because he remembers that in this scene, when the protagonist wins, Angelica goes and marries a low-rank noble and lives her life in misery. Also, he hates all the main romantic interests in the game. They decide that if Leon wins, the prince and Marie will break up, but if they win, Angelica will leave him alone. Leon suggests an armored duel in the arena, and they offer him to gather 5 people to compete against them, but Leon says that he alone is enough for them. Afterward, Leon goes to his room, which has been vandalized, but the footage has been captured by Luxian, which shows that the students even made his friends Daniel and Raymond vandalize. Leon is now summoned by Angelica, who tells him to drop out of the duel because he doesn't need to risk his life for her. But Leon reassures that he can win and tells her that he isn't fighting so that he can ask for a favor from her father, the Duke. He is fighting because he hates those guys. At the arena, all 5 of Leon's opponents have their big armored robots standing behind them, but when Leon's armored robot arrives, everyone starts laughing because of its shape. Olivia isn't sure why everyone is laughing at Leon's armor, so Angelica explains to her that Leon's armor is most likely a lost item that cannot be made using the new technology, but even though it's rare, it doesn't mean it's strong. Liam's armor is very bulky, whereas the new armors, including the armors of his opponents, are made so that they are very fast. Liam now jumps into his robot and asks Luxian to give him blade number 1 in the backpack, but he is given a shovel because the last time he took the robot out, he was digging and forgot to replace the blade, but Leon is confident that he can defeat his opponent using only the shovel. In the first match, Leon faces Brad, who decides to attack using the drones on the robot's back, but Leon dodges them easily and defeats Brad with 1 attack, which shocks everyone. Now for his second opponent, Greg comes forward and tells Leon that he only won because his armor is strong and then attacks with his weapon, but Leon manages to deflect all his attacks and breaks his weapon. Leon now proceeds to dismantle the robot, but Greg wants to continue the fight without his armor when Leon says that he doesn't like bullying weak guys and tells him that he's a nobody, and if he torments a nobody, it will leave a bad taste in his mouth. Leon's next opponent is Chris, and just as the match starts, Leon steps back and deploys the drones on the robot's back, which shoots Chris' robot. Chris does a jump attack with his sword, but Leon grabs and breaks it in half, defeating Chris. Chris can't believe that he has lost and questions his defeat, saying that he worked so hard but still lost when Leon says that he should tell Marie about all this hard work so she might pity him. The next opponent is Joke, but before the match he uses Jenna, Leon's sister, to plant explosives into Leon's robot. Luxian tells Leon about the situation, which doesn't bother him as he knows the strength of the robot's armor. As the match begins, Joke flies into the air and attacks Leon, but realizing that his attacks that could easily destroy a standard robot armor aren't working on Leon, he detonates the explosives but is shocked to see that there isn't a scratch on Leon. Joke now threatens Leon's family and says to him that his days as a noble are over, but Leon tells him the person whose days of being a noble are over is him because he has recorded him threatening his family, and also knows that he planted explosives on his robot, so if he were to tell the prince and Marie about this, they would surely hate him. Leon uses his shovel and pummels Joke onto the ground, defeating him, which further worries Marie, who can't believe that a mob character is going to ruin her plan. The prince reassures Marie that he will defeat Leon because his armor is made from the kingdom's greatest technology, but Marie thinks about how the others also said this before getting beaten. Marie remembers that these guys were also weak in the game, that's why she let her brother defeat the game for her. Before the last match begins, Leon asks the prince about her thoughts about Olivia, but he says that he has never spoken with her, so he doesn't have any opinion. Leon and the prince now clash against one another as Leon praises Julius for being more of a fight than the other opponents. Leon tells Julius that he has been tricked by Marie, who doesn't really love her, but Julius can't hear anything against the love of his life and says that she is unlike the other women that he has met in the royal palace, and she really sees and loves him for what he really is. Leon tells him that Angelica also loves him, but Julius says that if she really loves him, she would want him to be happy and won't come near him ever again. Julius asks Leon how he feels looking down on people and lecturing them, and Leon, to even further anger the prince, says that it feels awesome and that even though he is arrogant, he still can't be beaten by him. Leon tells Julius that he should think about his actions of going against Angelica and the Redgrave family that she's a part of because it can affect his noble status, and he might be stripped of his right to the throne. But Julius says that he doesn't care about any of that as long as he can be with Marie. Leon realizes that there is no changing Julius's mind, so he uses a powerful attack and completely breaks Julius's robot armor. Everyone is in shock and boos Leon, so Olivia asks him why he was so cruel to the prince and his friends because now everyone hates him. But Leon tells her that he isn't going to be in the academy for very long, so it doesn't matter. Angelica now goes to check up on the prince, but the prince tells her that he can't ever love her because Marie is the true love of his life, so Angelica leaves him, saying that she will pray for his happiness. Liam goes to the head of the Redgrave family, who is Angelica's father, and tells him that he will give up his title of knight and reject the barony he is being offered, so he requests him to clear up the mess he has caused. He wants his life to be spared and his family not to be held responsible for any of his actions. Angelica's father says that he is the only one that fought for his daughter, so he will do whatever he can to help him. Another man standing beside Angelica's father says that Leon could have avoided all of this mess if he didn't fight the prince, and asks him what he really wants. Leon thinks about how he did all this because he is irritated by the prince and his friends, but he says that he did it for the kingdom's good as he couldn't stand watching the prince get deceived by Marie. Angelica's father requests Leon to take his daughter to rest in the countryside because she is defeated right now, so Leon takes Angelica and Olivia to his home. He shows them to the hot springs he had built, and after enjoying that, the three of them start talking with each other when Angelica says that she's a horrible person because she is still thinking about getting revenge on Marie. Leon says that he has a great idea of how to get revenge, and when asked by Angelica, he says that the best revenge she could possibly take is by becoming happy. On the other hand, the prince and all of her friends have been disinherited by their families and have lost their noble status. They are not affected by it, but Mary can't believe that her dream of living in the royal palace is destroyed. In Leon's home, a messenger arrives saying that they won't be held responsible for any of Leon's actions. Instead, Leon's royal ranking has increased to the upper 6th rank, which messes up his plan because he wanted to get rid of his rank, so he doesn't want to go to the academy. But now that the royal family has recognized him, he has to attend the academy. At the academy, Luxian tells Leon that Marie and Julius and his friends have decided to stay together, but they are no longer lovers and are taking on dungeons. They are training to become stronger and defeat Leon and are funding themselves because they have lost their family's backing. All of them are happy except for Marie. Leon is irritated by having to attend the academy again, but is happy that he can be around Olivia and Angelica, but knows that he can't do anything with them. A school festival starts in the academy and Leon decides to open a cafe along with his friends Daniel and Raymond. Angelica and Olivia also work in the cafe as maids, and when Leon sees them in their maid outfits, he starts crying because he can't have anything romantic with them due to the setting of the game. Leon's sister comes and asks him to help her as she got in a fight with a girl over a boy, but she's in the wrong because the other girl had her eyes set on the boy, but she stole him from right under her nose. She asks Leon to threaten her so she will leave him alone, but Olivia tells her that that's wrong when Leon's sister tells her to shut up, which upsets both Angelica and Leon, and they tell her to leave. The prince and his friends, along with Marie, also open a cafe beside Leon's, which becomes very popular even though they are charging 100 dia for just tea and snacks. When they visit their cafe, Marie insults them, saying that no one will come to their cafe, so they will use it as a break room. Olivia now tries to advertise their cafe, but everyone ignores or insults her for being with Leon, except for a girl named Carla, who says their cafe looks fun. On the day of the festivals, as they are about to open the cafe, a teacher comes and tells Angelica that she is being summoned by the executive committee, where she is met with the Lady Mylene, the queen of the kingdom, who requests Angelica to take her to meet Leon. Just as Angelica and Lady Mylene enter Leon's cafe, they see that a girl, along with her servants, is giving a hard time to Leon. She throws the teacup at Leon, telling him that it's lukewarm, and when Leon bows down to clean the mess, she steps on his head and says that he should be the one who should pay her for drinking this tea. Angelica comes to Leon's aid and pushes her aside, but unlike the other girls, she isn't afraid of Angelica, and Angelica realizes that she is Count Offrey's daughter, who is a rival to her own family. She starts insulting Angelica when Olivia steps in and tells her to stop, but she tells her that she is just a pet of Angelica and shouldn't think she's a big shot just because she knows Angelica. She now makes her servants hit Leon, seeing which Lady Mylene tells them to leave, but the girl doesn't know who she is and tells her servants to throw her out when Leon starts laughing because now he has caused a fight back. He says that they are picking a fight with the queen of the kingdom, so he will protect her and starts beating the servants. Angelica realizes that he has gone out of control, so she calls his tea party teacher, who he considers his master, to calm him down. Afterward, Lady Mylene says that she is angry with Leon, who drops down to his knees and asks her to spare his family. But she says that's not what she meant and asks Angelica to help, who tells her that Leon is only making fun of her. Lady Mylene complains to Leon about the way he fought in the duel against Julius, and tells him that he has made many enemies in the royal palace. Leon doesn't seem to care. She now requests Leon to help her make some memories at the academy because she didn't attend it herself. Leon realizes that the queen is very beautiful and doesn't look like someone who is in her 30s, so he asks her to marry him. But seeing this, Julius hits Leon and takes away his mother. In Julius's cafe, the queen asks him to bring Marie in front of her, but Julius says that he can't do so because of her attitude, which angers her. She says that Julius called Leon greedy, but he is the one charging 100 dia for low-quality tea and snacks, and he also called Leon a coward, but he is the one who is still with Marie even after losing the duel. Carla comes to Leon's cafe, but when Leon says that they are closed, she asks Olivia to introduce her to him, and then she asks Leon to save her family. Later, Luxian asks Leon if he is going to help Carla or not, and Leon says that if he doesn't help her, Olivia will lose face because she introduced her, so he will help her after the school festival. Now in the academy, there is a flying bike race, and Angelica is on the executive committee for the race. She tells Olivia that a third-year student named Dan and Joke are the favorites to win the race. They both wonder if Leon will also participate in this race, but know that you will most likely bet on these races than participating. As the races start, Leon uses Luxian to bet on the winning bikes and keeps making money. But in the race where Joke is participating, other members of the race keep attacking him. Liam is worried because he bet his money on Joke to win, who somehow manages to win but breaks his bone in the process and isn't able to participate in the next match. Joke's ex-fiancée Clarice arrives and reveals that she is the one who was responsible for the attacks because she will make him pay for leaving her for Marie. Marie says that she shouldn't seek revenge, but Clarice tells her to shut up, and the way Marie behaves like a saint in front of others makes Leon think of his sister. After Clarice leaves, Marie suggests that Leon should participate in the race as it will affect Angelica's reputation if she can't find another first-year student to replace Joke, because she is on the executive committee. Liam decides to participate in the race and beforehand runs into Dan, who reveals that Clarice used to care very much for Joke, but he broke up with her using only a letter and refused to meet her afterward. Luxian asks Leon if he still plans to win even after hearing what Dan said, and Leon says that he also hates Joke for what he did, but he will still win because he wants to see the faces of all the people who want him to lose. As the race begins, everyone, including the people who aren't followers of Clarice, start attacking Leon because they are in debt because of him. All the audience, including the commentators, also pray for his downfall. Meanwhile, Count Offrey's daughter again approaches Angelica and starts bad-mouthing her when Olivia tells her to stop being mean. Count Offrey's daughter tells Olivia that Angelica used to look down on commoners like her, which hurts Olivia's feelings, and she runs away. She now calls Olivia a bitch, which angers Angelica, and she attacks her as everyone else tries to break up their fight. In the race, Leon manages to win using the modification done by Luxian to the bike, but afterward, his bike breaks down, and as Leon starts falling, thinking he is going to die, Dan catches him on his bike. Leon now goes to Joke to make him repay his debt for replacing him in the race, And when Jilk asks what he should do, Leon makes him apologize face-to-face to Claris for everything he has done to her. After Jilk leaves, Claris tells Leon about the fight that Angelica had and how Olivia ran off. So he goes to Olivia, who asks him if she can be friends with Angelica. Leon says that it will be difficult because they are so different, and Angelica was probably with them because she lost her followers, but Olivia says that Angelica is not that kind of person, so Leon tells her that if she believes that, then it isn't an issue. Olivia now waits in a room thinking that if she communicates her feelings with Angelica, they can surely be friends when Carla arrives to talk with her. Carla says that even though at first she just wanted her to introduce her to Leon, but now she wants her to also be involved because she can help, but Olivia says that even though she first agreed to it, now she thinks that Leon shouldn't get involved in her matters when Count Offrey's daughter also comes into the room. She tells Olivia that she will go along with whatever she says, otherwise she will make the lives of those around her miserable, and she also tells Carla to get her act together. Otherwise, she will destroy her family. Olivia refuses to help her, so to convince her, Count Offrey's daughter further degrades her, saying that she is just a pet and Angelica and Leon don't consider her their friend and Leon is probably just after her body. The next day, Leon tells Luxian that sky pirates are rampaging through Carla's land, so he is going to help her, and when Luxian asks that shouldn't the royal palace help her in this matter, Leon reveals that the pirates have one of the 3 items that the protagonist of the game, Olivia, needs to awaken her powers as a saint. One of the items is a holy bracelet hidden in the palace dungeon, and the second item is the holy necklace in possession of the sky pirates that he is going to fight, and the third is the holy staff in the kingdom's temple. Leon says that the sky pirate event happens 2 or 3 years into the story of the game, and what happens next differs according to who the protagonist asks for help from their love interest. The Count Offrey's daughter, Stephanie, is behind the sky pirates, and she does so because she hates how Olivia, being a commoner, was making a name for herself. But that's not the case anymore, because now she is doing so because she hates Leon. Luxian says that Leon should let Olivia solve this matter, but he says that she isn't capable of handling it right now, so it's more effective if he defeats them himself when Luxian thinks about how Leon is taking away every opportunity for Olivia to grow without even knowing. Carla now comes with Olivia and tells Leon that she also asked for help from others, because of which Brad and Greg came. Brad reveals that he accepted this request because Stephanie is his ex-fiancée, and also the money he will gain from this will help Marie. Meanwhile, at the academy, Angelica goes to see Olivia to make up, but seeing that her door has been vandalized, she is concerned for Olivia's safety when Stephanie arrives and reveals how she has sent Olivia to fight the sky pirates, which angers Angelica, who grabs her by the throat and threatens to end her if anything happens to Olivia. Liam and everyone are on a ship that Luxian created named Partner, and Liam is playing cards with Greg and Brad when Luxian informs them that 2 pirate ships are attacking them. Leon tells Greg and Brad to get ready for battle, but they have no idea what to do, so he tells them to just wait. Leon uses his robot armor named Arrogance and easily defeats the pirates, but when Luxian asks why he didn't just destroy them, Leon says that he can't just kill anyone. They now arrive at the island where Carla resides, but just as they land, they are surrounded by a group of people. Comrade Fu Wayne, the father of Carla, recognizes Brad and asks what they are doing here when Leon tells him about how his daughter recruited them to fight the pirates that are attacking their land, but Conrad reveals that no one is attacking them. Conrad asks Carla what's going on when she lies, saying that she didn't do anything and it was all Olivia's fault. Leon steps in for Olivia, telling Conrad about how she recruited them and told them that they would be paid, which further angers her father, who asks her about the truth. Later, after getting the truth out from Carla about how Stephanie told him to do this, Liam goes to Olivia, but she has been brainwashed by Stephanie. She asks Leon if he is after her body and says that she is not just their pet, but is a human. Leon, standing on the roof of the ship, thinks about what Olivia just said to him when Luxian tells him that he has been taking away every opportunity for her growth, but when Luxian says that she was just a doormat for Leon, he becomes angry and punches Luxian. Brad also comes to the roof to practice his swordsmanship and tells Leon that he is working hard so the next time they fight, he can defeat him, but Leon says that he isn't going to fight him again, so he will always be a loser. Luxian sends a robot with 2 wooden swords, which causes Leon to fight against Brad, but he manages to defeat Brad easily. Brad reveals that he is the weakest one of the group, that's why he is working hard, so that he won't get outshined by the rest when they are with Marie. The next morning, Brad and Greg ask Leon about his plan to deal with the sky pirates when they are suddenly attacked by the pirates. Leon tells Brad and Greg to wait inside the ship, but seeing that they really want to fight, he provides them with the robots that they capture from the pirates. Meanwhile, Olivia sits in her room feeling bad about all the horrible things she sent to Leon when the ship starts shaking, and she goes outside to see Leon fighting against the pirates' robots. When Leon gets blown away by one of the pirates, Olivia goes outside to help, but the pirate boss with his robot stops her and is about to take her with him when Brad arrives and saves her. Luxian informs Leon that Olivia is in danger, but when he sees Brad and Greg fighting to save her, Leon thinks that things should have been this way from the start, but Greg and Brad are not strong enough to defeat the boss, so Leon interferes and destroys the robot. The pirate boss, seeing that he has been defeated, surrenders and asks Leon to spare him, who further torments him before grabbing the holy necklace. The pirate ships wave the white flags signaling their surrender, and Leon takes all the treasure the pirates have looted so far. Leon now plans to become a background character again because he has already interfered so much in the setting of the game. He reports to the royal palace that he only assisted Greg and Brad, due to which they get all the money of the bounty that was on the pirates. Leon also talks with their family to get them reinstated, and now he plans to distance himself from Olivia and Angelica. Brad and Greg talk with the royal palace to increase Leon's rank from upper 6 to lower 5, which they consider a kind deed, but for Leon, it is the worst possible outcome. He gets some more bad news when he receives a letter from the family of Clarice, telling him that when he has graduated, he will be promoted to the rank of upper 5th, and he is also gifted an air bike. Daniel and Raymond tell Leon that because of his promotion, girls are starting to look at him, but Leon knows that they just want him for his status. They tell Leon that a school trip is coming so they can try and find a wife there, when Leon remembers that on the school trip, you go with your romantic interest to increase your score in the game. Leon selects to go to the southern floating island as he wants to obtain an item that is present there. Olivia and Angelica also go on the same island. After arriving at the island, Olivia thinks about how good it would have been had she been here with Angelica and Leon. Olivia sees a shrine and goes to it, where Leon is already present, and Angelica also arrives shortly after. The three of them stand in complete silence when a little girl who works at the shrine arrives and tells them that this shrine is dedicated to marriage. The three of them, after making an offering, pray for what they want, but Leon loudly starts praying for a wife that has common sense, but is also sexy and a little naughty. Angelica stops him, telling him to watch his language as this is a holy place, so they make their wishes in silence. Afterward, the little girl gives them 3 charms, which was the item that Leon wished to find here. That's why he also pulled some strings, so that he could come to the southern islands. These are randomly acquired and include a good luck charm, a war fortune charm, and a blessing of element talismans. He takes all 3 charms when the little girl tells him that it's for all 3 of them, so they all should take one, but Olivia and Angelica say that Leon can keep them if he wants. He shares the charms, and after opening them, Olivia and Angelica get the red and white blessing of the element talisman, while Leon gets the war fortune charm, which increases one's physical attributes and close combat skills. The next morning, Chris approaches Leon and challenges him to a sword fight, but their conversation is cut short when the ship they are on suddenly gets attacked by monsters having the crest of the Phanos Dukedom. Phanos Dukedom originally belonged to a Duke of the Kingdom, but they declared their independence and now call themselves a nation. Liam is surprised to see them because they didn't appear in the game until the end, so he wonders what he has done wrong that they have appeared so early. Angelica tells Leon that they are led by Princess Gertrude, who she has met before. Gertrude makes an announcement to everyone present on the ship, telling them that she is declaring war on the Halford Kingdom, so if the nobles on the ship want to survive, they should surrender. A man named Gallet comes on the ship and says that they are going to imprison everyone with a rank of Baron or higher, but Angelica comes forward and surrenders herself, saying that she is the daughter of the Duke, so she alone should be enough as a hostage. Leon and Olivia try to stop her, but all the other students only think about themselves and hold back both of them. Olivia is slapped by some girls, while Leon is beaten badly by the students. On the monster ship of Gertrude, Angelica asks her why she is doing this because she knows that the Halford Kingdom is much stronger than them. Gallet asks Gertrude about what he should do with the rest of the nobles, and she tells him that she has no need for them. Meanwhile, Leon has been thrown into his cell by the students when Chris comes and asks Leon to help them, but Liam refuses, saying that he isn't going to fight for someone who isn't willing to fight for themselves. Chris tries to motivate everyone to fight, but no one agrees with him when Leon comes forward with a gun and starts insulting them, saying that they all are wanted nobles. Hearing this angers the daughter of Count Roseblade, Deirdre Fu Roseblade, whose family, excluding the Duke, is the most influential on the ship, but Leon doesn't care about that and says that their forefathers were true nobles, but they would be ashamed of the behavior everyone is showing. He questions whether their ancestors' adventure-filled blood even runs in their veins, which motivates them as they prepare to fight. Deirdre, who was insulting Leon moments ago, now becomes impressed by him and says that he is fantastic and his brazen attitude is very thrilling. Leon prepares to go to a monster ship and fight, while Gertrude says to Angelica that she will show her how she is planning to overcome the difference in strength between the two nations and starts using a flute. Leon, on his way to the enemy's ship, remembers that the princess had a magic flute in the game, so he decides to steal it when he saves Angelica. Back on the ship, Chris, along with other students, jump into the armor robots that are available and start destroying the monsters attacking the ship while the other students use their magic to protect the ship. The enemy ship now starts firing cannons that damage the ship, but Olivia, in a moment of desperation, casts a barrier big enough to protect the whole ship. The barrier also starts firing at the monster, and seeing this, Leon finally cannot worry about them and decides to enter the ship through the mouth of the monster carrying it. Firstly, he hits Galet and then proceeds to take the princess hostage along with her magic flute, while Luxian removes Galet's mustache. As they reach their own ship, Leon says that they will keep the princess hostage and take the ship back home, but the enemy doesn't care about the princess, who reveals that they will continue to attack because she can easily be replaced. The princess sets all the monsters free from her control and tells Leon that the monsters will now attack the one who was controlling her, which is her, and as she is on their ship, the monsters will destroy them too. Leon now tries to buy some time while Angelica takes care of Olivia, who has drained herself because of casting such a big spell. Olivia says that she only wanted to be seen as an equal to Angelica and Leon and didn't want to slow them down, but Angelica tells her that she never did anything like that. A monster attacks the ship, which causes it to lose balance and throws Angelica almost out of the ship, but she manages to hold on to the edge. Her grip starts slipping, but Olivia saves her, but in the process, she is thrown out of the ship. Leon arrives and saves Olivia from falling, who tells him that she is in love with him and wants to be with him. He takes her back on the ship when Leon's ship partner arrives and starts destroying the enemy. Leon also gets into Aragon's, his robotic armor, and goes to defeat the rest of the enemies. Seeing this, one of the enemies suggests to Galet that they should retreat, but he says that they can't just leave now because they have lost the princess and the flute. But Galet remembers that they still have their most powerful hero, Sir Vandal, the Black Knight. Leon comes face to face with the Black Knight, whose robot armor is still below what Leon has, but his piloting skills are a league above Leon's. They exchange blows with each other, but the Black Knight manages to pierce Leon's armor, which puts extra stress on his body. Luxian advises Leon to get out of the robot because armor performance is down by 30%, but he ignores Luxian's advice and continues the fight. The Black Knight now puts his sword through the robot and Leon gets out of the robot, which makes the Black Knight think that he is forfeiting. But the robot, now controlled by Luxian, grabs hold of the Black Knight's robot and Leon goes up to his pilot seats and puts a gun to his face, winning the match. Galet, seeing this, decides to fire a flare which gathers all the monsters in one place as he hopes that they will destroy everything, but Leon tells Luxian to use the main ship, which rains fire from the sky and kills all the monsters. Leon spares the Black Knight, telling him that he should now retire because he just lost to a kid, and back at his kingdom, he should tell everyone how strong Leon is. After reaching home, Leon decides to give all the credit to Chris so that he will be reinstated by his family, and now has a tea party with Olivia and Angelica. Meanwhile, the prince and his group create another robot armor and challenge Leon to another duel with the demand that he will not come between Marie and them anymore. Greg pilots the robot, and Leon says to Luxian that he will lose on purpose because Olivia is too good for them, so if they want to be with Marie, they can do so. Just as the fight begins, Luxian tells Leon that Greg's robot is about to blow up, so he should tell him to get out, but Greg doesn't listen to him, which makes Leon destroy the robot to save Greg, which again results in his victory. Leon now attends a ceremony where he is given the title of a Viscount, and afterward he meets with Olivia, who says to him that when she told him that she loved him, she was being serious, so she hopes he will someday give her his answer. Olivia and Angelica now wait for Leon, who thinks that even though he's a mob character, he still wants to be with the two of them, no matter how hard it is to do so in this Otome game world.